Experience Karen Hunter
in a completely different way.
Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed. Do you remember the first time you saw me?
Of course I do. I was in the New York Daily News. It was 1993. The Daily News.
Was it 93?
It was 93. It was absolutely 1993. And this is exactly how it happened. They brought me in as a freelancer. They was ultimately considering the high school sports department was killed, and they were planning on bringing it back that August. This is April. And they brought me in April of 1993. And they brought me in as a freelancer first. And some woman named Karen Hunter was working in the newsroom down the hall. Sports department was about 40 yards down the hallway.
Towards the door, towards the exit.
And you were down the hall and you saw me and you came and you wrapped your arms around my shoulder. You introduced yourself and you said, whatever you need, I'm here for you. I'm right down the hallway. Do not hesitate to come and ask me. It's good to see a brother in this building because there needed to be more. And I'm here for you. That's exactly how it happened. And next thing you know, I was at your desk every day. Like every day. That's how it happened.
I think about those times because I stood on the shoulders of people who had sued to be there, to have more representation. And then there was, Jared and, Joyce Shelby and Maria Fugate and folk that I would send my pieces to before I sent them to Chuck Slater on the desk or whomever was on the desk to make sure that I was up to par because, I was made to feel like I was only there because I was Black,
right.
Bill Travers and them.
Yep.
And then I had to make sure that I had a community, which they all rallied around me. So when I saw you, I'm paying it for because that's now the blueprint. We got to look at you, Deneen, and all of the folk that
Deneen Milner is who you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So it was important. And then I look at the newsrooms today, and it's the same. It's still 4% of us, but now there's a devolvement of what that standard was in terms of even truth and facts and how we report. I remember talking with a brother that used to cover the Giants. And, he used to come speak to my class as you have done. And he was saying, they have to now insert their opinion. And I said, what? I was like, your opinion? Okay. And it wasn't a column.
That's right.
You have to have a point of view. And I was like, this is wild. And I feel in many ways that maybe I want things to be the way they used to be. And I watch the theater and I don't like what is done to society. And even watching you and our relationship, I'm still very rooted in what this is. And what it can be, as opposed to, you've been talking to me about the game for a while, and I'm never playing this game. Well, so how do you feel about that?
You and I have butted heads as brother and sister over that very, very point. So I don't mind you bringing it up. It's a real conversation. But I also think that there's clarity that needs to be brought to the position as to why I've gotten on you about this. To your audience, I've gotten on Karen about this, not because she's wrong, but because she's versatile enough to be right and still be successful at playing the game for the greater good. And here's what I mean by that. When I'm talking about playing the game, all I mean is these are the rules of engagement. Deal with it, because you ain't changing it. You can't legislate other people's hearts and other people's minds. To the audience out there, Karen and I have butted heads on various issues throughout the year. My love for her never diminishes. I have gotten on Karen because I've said to her, you're so addicted to authenticity that it has gotten in the way of your greatness being validated in the fashion that suited for you. You have your audience ain't going anywhere. Remember when I got on you for calling Trump the orange Cheeto and stuff like that?
Yeah.
What did I say? Why did I say that? I said that because I said there's an audience out there That's yours. They're not leaving. But there is an audience that you could grasp that instantly diminishes what you're saying, as substantive as it is, because you prefaced it with the orange Cheeto. Don't do that.
Experience Karen Hunter
in a completely different way.
Karen Hunter is awesome. The podcast.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is Awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.